Hey, what's good, y'all? Starting us off, number one, sunflower. So, you guys will probably learn this about me. I don't really do things in any particular order. However, sunflower is number one. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's number one because it's easier or anything like that. It is kind of odd that sunflower is number one, seeing that it is our number one seller. I didn't even plan for that to happen. It just So what you can expect to learn in this series, what I'm going to be talking about, seeding, watering, harvesting. Hey guys, if you haven't already watched the Microgreen for Beginner overview, I suggest go there first. It answers a lot about the seeds, where we get a lot of the stuff that we're talking about in this video. Oh yeah, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I always forget that piece. Sunflower has got to make the list of my top 4 microgreens to grow because it is extremely easy. Now what I have here, as well as what's in front of you, is a bunch of sunflower seeds. However, these sunflower seeds have already begun their DTM. See that? They're sprouted. These are a bunch of sprouted sunflower seeds. Well, there we go. Ta-da! The reason they're like this is because sunflower is one of the microgreens here that we soak, or one of the seeds for the microgreens here that we soak. One of the things I like to do, this is a pro tip, I'll soak them for right about 24 hours, strain them, and then let them sit. Within a day or two, you get this. So this is pre-sprouted, of course, and then this is sprouted. Now something like this actually is a bit long. You don't really want them to go too long, too much longer than that. Typically, this, which the majority of these guys are, the beginning stages, that's what I'm looking for, something like that. Although if it is a little bit longer, just coat them with a lighter little sprinkle of compost. It'll help those roots redirect. This is right about an 85-ounce scoop. What I'm gonna do is try to spread this one scoop throughout all the trays. And it makes it really easy doing that technique because now I can walk away from my microgreens for about a day or two and then soak them, because now, if you guys can see, my day to maturity is already begun, and they're going to be out of these trays a lot faster, or a lot sooner than they would if I just dry seeded these. You can do that with sunflower. However, I always find that you start running to a risk of contracting mold. It can be mitigated against if caught early enough, but why even go there? Doing this right here, I've greatly reduced my risk of mold, as well as I can see my germination rate. Sunflower, you'll normally keep them in the trays for right about, or in the stacks for right about 2 days, just like most of the other things, maybe 3, just like most of the other things. That being said, y'all, when utilizing the sprouting technique, it's not uncommon for me to pull my micro sunflower out of the stacks in about a day. It kind of just depends on the temperature. You can expect them to be ready to eat or harvest ready right about, if you know that your temperatures are going to be right in the 70s to 80s, you're normally going to have your microgreens or your micro sunflower shoots. You'll normally have those guys done or ready in about 7 days, maybe 9. 9 being the most during that time of the year. If it's cooler, it could take a little bit longer. If it's warmer, it could be a little bit faster. So just kind of keep that in mind. I've actually harvested my sunflower within 5 days. That's been the fastest. That's how you grow sunflower. Microgreens. Right about 350 milliliters to fill up a 1020 tray. You pretty much use whatever receptacle you like when growing your micro sunflower. Just make sure that the soil depth is approximately 1 1/4 inch. Just like all of your other greens, easy to do with hand, especially if you're doing it at home. Very easy to do them by hand. You just want to fill that up until it's full without really overlapping. And then with the sunflower, I'll also give it like an extra little brushing just to really spread them out. Now I'm just kind of filling in the holes. Boom. You don't really need to pat them down, much like all the other ones. However, if you're already here, I'll kind of do that with sunflower. You'll be stacking them with another tray the exact same size. If you want, you can actually throw like bricks on this. This is why I suggest always making sure you have a top if you don't plan on growing a lot of microgreens. Basically, you want to have two receptacles. You want to have a receptacle that you're actually going to plant the seeds in, and then another receptacle to place on top. Really to make sure that that surface space is even and that your seeds down here are actually getting contact with the soil. That's the big deal. So boom. We stack our microgreens here about 6 high, mainly because of the type of shelves or rack systems that we use. This is why I don't put bricks on mine, but you do want to have some type of weight on top of your microgreen trays, just again to help with the seed to surface contact, if you will. You want to stack your microgreens in a warm spot. This will help them germinate a lot faster. And within 1 to 2 days, you'll start seeing your top tray here kind of push up from the force of your sprouts getting bigger. Go. That's about what you're looking for right there, guys. So the next step will be to take these guys out of the stacks and then get them watered up. And just like this, you have micro sunflower, y'all. We normally like to harvest our micro sunflower right about 2 to 3 inches. We harvest our sunflower one of 2 ways, either by knife or with scissors. That's all I'm really doing, y'all. I'm just kind of cutting it right at the base, right? So I'm always leaving a little bit of the green, if you guys can see that, inside of the actual soil right there. These flats, after we've harvested them, go back into our plot. So we do compost them or reuse them. We also will send a lot of these to other gardens nearby. Sunflower is one of the easier ones to harvest with knife as well as with scissor, just because of the way that it grows. It gives you a lot of space there. The majority of the ones in this series actually will give you a lot of space. Sunflower is a very easy one to harvest. You want to keep this knife down flat, as flat as you possibly can when you're cutting. This will give us a nice even cut. This needs to be extremely sharp. A lot of times with a dull knife, believe it or not, it'll get a little bit too dull, and you go to cut your microgreen or your sunflower and it almost bounces off and easily can hit you. So always use a sharp knife. Now with scissors, you need them to be equally as sharp. Not so much because you're going to cut yourself with them, although you can. However, it's more so for the shelf life of the green. Actually, this actually goes with knives as well. The sharper the knife, the less browning you'll find on the end of your sunflower. When you start using dull things, I find that you actually get browning and then less shelf life out of your sunflower. Specifically your sunflower, when it comes to these, they really show a lot. With the scissors, pretty much the same thing, aiming for the base and cutting. Make sure that I'm not dragging this pinky down here too low to where I'm actually cutting them through, or I'm cutting it through here. Also want to make sure that I'm not cutting that part of my palm. A lot of times people will bring it down here and actually clip or catch their palm down here. So you want to be careful about that and just keep everything out of the way and then get to cutting. We got them onto the receptacle and you can see we got a pound 0.35 out of 1 tray. So that's low-key what you can expect out of 1 tray of sunflower if you're doing it via 1020. We normally will harvest our sunflower on the plot with knife just because it's a lot faster to cut through our 1020 trays here. However, at the market, we harvest these and all the other microgreens with scissors. Those of you that are actually thinking about beginning your own microgreen business, we also use a quick cut greens harvester. Throw them in your sandwiches, throw them in your salads. We've made kimchi with these. The list goes on and on. I even do like a guacamole because unlike a lot of you guys, I'm allergic to avocado. Yes, I know it sucks. These actually do a really good job of taking the place of avocado for me in a lot of ways when it comes to like guacamole and stuff. So really good one. Yeah, dude, micro sunflower. Get on it, y'all. Hope this one helps.